good afternoon. We've got
Good
Bake
afternoon.
Huang here from Riverking,
Yeah,
all the way from China.
yeah, thank you.
Welcome
yeah,
to South Africa.
It's an honor to have me here.
It's such a pleasure, and it's always good to hear about what's happening with the fresh produce sector and how things are moving.
So, what brings you to South Africa on this visit?
For this trip, I'm trying to source more citrus from South Africa because I saw the chance for the Chinese market. So as a season supply market, for us, we believe that the demand for the citrus is very stable. So, and due to the heavy shortage from Brazil, I think the juicing industry will help maintain a good price in the, help maintain the fresh consumption price. That's why last season we did quite well in the Chinese market.
Let's have a look at that. Would you need something like that for your marketing purposes? Come and look on our stock site. They'll be there soon.
The problem with the Brazilian issue with the orange juice has had worldwide effects, in that we were just chatting to somebody from Brazil this morning saying how their orange juice production has really gone down due to environmental reasons and disease.
Yeah.
And so suddenly everybody's looking for orange juice and oranges.
Yes.
So I can understand your mission to South Africa to be looking for more oranges.
What are you mostly interested in? What is the Chinese market looking for? Because we've heard this morning that there's a big drive towards like soft citrus, easy peeler kind of things. What is the Chinese market looking for in terms of that?
I think the Chinese market is still looking for the oranges mainly. Yeah, we also are looking for some soft citrus, but as you understand that the Chinese crop is, for the soft citrus is becoming more and more earlier, and the season ends later, so it leaves less window for the soft citrus.
Okay, so that the internal production in China
Yeah.
is running over into when the rest of the world is starting to supply, or the southern
The
hemisphere.
Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because as far as I understand, in the market, they can keep the fruits. We will have the soft citrus season from end of August, the earliest, and then till the mid-June.
Okay,
Yeah, next season. So that's why.
so that's almost year round.
Yeah, almost a year round. So and the year-round supply is the target for the Chinese market.
Is that just because with varieties, or in different planting regions that you can stretch that season so far?
I think first is because of the varieties, which can be well stored in the cold facilities. The second is that the different production areas.
Okay.
Yeah, they can extend the season.
Does China have a lot of their own soft citrus varieties already?
Yes, actually yes, because in China we also try to introduce more and more from the abroad, especially some good varieties from other countries, and now after trials we saw that there are four types of soft citrus. One is called Sartan tangerine. The second is called Ore,
Yes, we know.
Ore,
Yes.
and Pongkan, and the last is Merkut.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So those
Yes.
are predominantly produced inside China.
Yeah. That's I think the main types of soft citrus. I mean the regarding the volume wise.
Bake, we just fell in and started the conversation. We actually should have asked you to give you a little bit more of an introduction to yourself. And
Yeah.
you said you've been to South Africa several times. Excuse us, we just fell in. Please, will you introduce yourself properly? Tell us about the company you work for, and
Yes.
what you do. Sorry.
It's just because we are very curious. We are. We want to know more.
Please just tell us a little bit more about why you're in South Africa and the company and what you have done in your career.
Yeah. So for me, I used to work for big retailers in China named Pagoda. So by now they have more than 5,000 stores over 40 cities in China. So at that time, my responsibility is sourcing apples and pears from South Africa. So the Pagoda is I think it's the main place for the South African apples and the pears at the time. So now about 2 years ago, I moved to a company called Riverking. So Riverking is more focused on the wholesale market side. And the main business is on the South African business, like the Peru grapes and blueberries and the chili, cherries, stone fruits, also grapes and blueberries.
Okay.
Yeah, in the past season, Riverking did more than 2,000 containers of chili cherries. Yeah,
2,000 containers.
yeah, more than 2,000 containers, a little bit more.
Just the one company.
Yeah, just one company.
Wh-
Yeah,
what-
we are one of the top, I think, one of the top 3 cherry importers in the Chinese market.
Wow. Why is cherry so cherished? Or
Why do people like them so much and
Yes.
want them so much? That is what it is. But I have a question. Very recently, there was quite a lot of problems with cherry imports to China. I think the price did a serious drop. I heard something like that. Has that happened? What can you say about that?
Yes. This year is because of the big volume to the Chinese market in a shorter promotion window. So in China, especially in January, the Chinese market received 16,000 containers of chili cherries just in one month. So we need to handle well all these products, but things become a little bit difficult compared with the previous season. It's only because of the firstly is the quality.
Yeah.
It's because of at the very beginning the cherry grower are afraid of heavy rain before the harvest. Like a previous season, they suffer a lot from the heavy rain. So after the heavy rain, they lose 50% of the crop on the early varieties. So this year they are trying to not prove the flower and try to maintain the volume even after experiencing a heavy rain. But this year the heavy rain does not happen. So that's why the crop is so big. But on the other hand, it's also hard for them to control the quality because they don't expect the volume is so big.
okay, that kind of makes sense. That for once they had fantastic weather,
Yeah.
and then they had a bumper crop, and that
All exported to China in 1 month.
Yeah.
wasn't good.
So actually in China, the buying power is still there. So the retailers are trying to do some pre-selling to help maintain the market price, because that's also the strategy played in the previous season, and it was quite successful. But this year, as I mentioned, is because of the quality. So when they try to do promotion in the in the retailing channels, when the buyers for the retailing channels, they deliver the fruits to the customers. It's a lot of claims for the customers. It's because of the some issues like undersize, underweight in the 2-in-1 box. So you will find maybe one box is heavier than 2.5 kg, but then the other one is less. So if someone receive less box, they will definitely complain.
They won't
about that.
complain if they get more.
Yeah, yeah. So and also some quality issue like soft
Okay.
and some high defectives found in the box. So if they buy a 5 kg loose box,
Then they might.
How long is the sailing period from Chile to China? How long is the shipping, does it take?
the shipping time takes like 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
You see, cherries are non-climateric, so you have to pick them at their optimum ripeness. They do
Yes.
not like other stone fruit. They don't ripen any further. So from the time you pick them, they are starting to deteriorate. So that long time, and then not getting into the market.
And
It's
then
a
there was
problem.
that ship that broke at sea with all the cherries on. That was all.
Did you hear about that? There was a ship that was sailing from South America, I'm not sure.
From Chile.
From Chile to China, and it developed engine problems.
Yeah. Yes, that's the problem we are handling now. So the vessel called Mask Satoro, which carrying 1.3 thousand containers of chili cherries. So as I just mentioned, it's because of the engine failure. So it takes extra 1 month to get to the port finally.
So that there will be, the whole ship will be claims, probably.
Yes.
Yes. Now, I think at the beginning, the GACC officers are trying to do some trial inspection to see how the quality is. Because as far as we all understand that the post-harvest treatment for the chili cherries is doing quite well.
Okay.
So at the beginning,
What-
we would like to see if the quality was still there. But after the inspection, they found the fruits are the quality was not there. So they decide to reject the entry. Either you reroute to other market, or you destroy the fruits.
Sure.
But now the final decision is that, from different sides, they all decide to destroy the fruits in China. So now I think the inspection almost done. And now we are going to another process for incineration.
Incineration.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how do you burn a big pulp of wet maize?
Yeah. You will never know.
They don't just dig a big hole and bury it.
No.
You cannot in China you cannot dig a hole and bury all the cherries because it's not permitted. They, especially for the GACC officers, they are afraid that some of the citizens try to dig out and sell it in the wholesale market again. That's the main concern. Yeah.
Sure. Wow.
So what I keep thinking about this is that was a huge value. The fruit had a huge value, and the farmers have lost that product. Now you wonder who will bear the cost of this product? Will it be the shipping line?
There will be
Yeah.
I
insurance.
know it's not your job, but I'm just to answer. But I just wonder.
Yeah.
It must be resolved somehow.
Yeah. As far as I know, the lot of exporters have bought the insurance.
Insurance.
So I think they will get fully refund for the valuable cherries. But I don't think it's just. I think it takes a longer time to get fully refund at the
Yes.
last.
Yes, it will take time.
Before we started talking, one of the new fruits that has just gained market access to China is avocados.
Yeah.
So, and about 2 weeks ago, I was in a marketing meeting with international fresh produce agents and some growers from South Africa, together with some market people from China on a webinar.
Yeah.
And the one half presented there what they're looking for and what they've got. So, and it was quite interesting from the Chinese market. Is that avocado it's a very new fruit in China by the looks of things.
Actually, it's not new because we used to import many from Peru.
Yeah, Peru's still the biggest.
Yeah. And it becomes quite popular in China, especially among youth. So the main consumption thing in China is in the westernized restaurant. So another thing is that in the bubble tea shop, they take it as ingredients. Yeah, for the bubble tea shop.
In the bubble tea.
Yeah, bubble tea.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know about the bubble
And
tea.
it becomes very popular in China.
That's
Good
interesting.
heavens, that is so interesting. Okay.
So is China a good market for avocados?
Yes, I think China is not a traditional avocado countries. We do not have a culture of consuming avocados. But these days they become, I think, the consumers become more aware of the products and they try to consume more. Yeah. So now I think the main consumption consumers are coming from the coastal areas, but it's they will, I mean the avocado consumption will penetrate from the coastal areas into the inland areas.
Okay. Wow. So you also said that there are some interesting things about South African citrus of what the market is looking for, and we touched on that oranges are still a good product for China. What else is the Chinese consumer looking for in terms of citrus?
In China, consumers are looking for, as I just mentioned, it's a con-season supply fruits for the Chinese market. So by that time, we are summertime at that time. So the consumers still need some juicy fruits, especially pure sweet fruits. Yeah.
I have a question specifically about lemons. I remember hearing somebody say that different markets around the world want lemons for different things and they want different shape and color lemons. So sometimes you want a yellower lemon or sometimes you want a greener lemon. Sometimes you want a rounder lemon, sometimes you want a longer lemon so that you can get lots of slices out of it for if you're serving drinks, something like that. So lemons are quite an unusual fruit because they aren't just used to eat, they are used in cooking as well. So you put a bit of lemon in, or even if someone's got a cold, you have some lemon in your water. Tell us about what is important to the Chinese for lemons. What is?
Because that's also a relatively new item that gained market access to China.
I think so. Yeah.
And it was in 21, just when we started with our COVID transmissions.
Actually, in China, as you just mentioned, we got a big crop of domestic lemon. So one is very popular is green round lemon, which is called fragrant lemon.
Okay.
Fragrant lemon.
Yeah.
Is it a specific variety or is it just?
Yeah, I think it's a specific variety. So it's very popular because a lot of bubble tea shop consume such fruits. So and they make lemon tea. They take the fragrant lemon as an ingredient for bubble tea.
Okay.
And
Sounds like bubble tea is huge.
Sounds like I need to go and have some bubble tea next week.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you should.
You better try because it's very popular in China, especially in the south part of China, because the weather is warmer compared with the north, so you can consume majority of the year time in south part of China.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, thank you for that. That's interesting.
Okay, something that could be a little bit more controversial, and if you can talk about it, please do, and if you can't, it's also fine. There's a lot of speak in the world about world politics and China and America and South Africa and this and this and that. Is it still easy for people to get market access to China?
I think it depends on the regions. Nowadays, as you understand that the political bruise between U.S. and China, after winning the election by Trump, they would like to put extra tariff on some certain kinds of products from China. So in China, we also put some retaliatory tariff on the U.S. products, but mainly from agricultural products. So that make it hard to do So when China is trying to be member of WTO, we would like to do the free trade worldwide, but now it seems very hard because if you see from all over the world, they say different countries are gradually quitting the free trade agreement. They would like to develop their own demand in their own countries. But it's not helpful because as especially for the agricultural products, because you always need a consistent supply. If you are just locating in certain of areas.
Yeah, trade barriers are always a problem. If you have tariffs put on something, it just complicates everything. And we all know about Mr. Trump and his President Trump and all his things he's doing, and he's threatening to do this and he's threatening to do that. So let's see where that goes. We don't know.
What fruit from South Africa do you think could be in demand in China in the future?
I think for now, the new entering products like avocados, I think is promising because firstly it's the same production window as Peru was.
Yeah.
And secondly is because of the production areas is more on the lands instead. Unlike that from Peru, they have a lot of production from the highlands, so which make it hard to harvest even great products. So the third is that the South Africa is geographically closer to the Chinese market, but the Peru also, although Peru is far away from China. But these days, after they call establishment of a new port, which is called Chiangkai port, so they can reduce the voyage from more than 30 days to maybe 24 25 days to China.
I heard all of that he said now. It was also part of that thing that they said that the Chinese market is very excited about South African avos because of our production practices. That they will get a higher quality product from South Africa
Yeah, that's
and a more consistent quality product.
yeah. That's I think that's what you heard from the Evo webinar.
Yes.
Like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yes, and
Okay.
and they also spoke about that new port that was opened up in Peru.
Okay,
Yeah.
very interesting. Very, very interesting.
And the other thing, there was a lot of questions around green skin avos, like the Fjorte type, because the plantings. I'm just telling what they said. You might know, is that the plantings that's been established in China are all mostly green skin avos, so the people are used to that at the moment. But the varieties that's open is Fjorte, the one with the
Haas. Yeah.
Haas.
Yes, yeah.
The one with the black skin. So they predict that the market might change over a little bit in time because it's a variety that ships easier. But there's a one thing that's still a bit of a interesting thing on the avocados is that China says that the fruit must be fumigated before it leaves South Africa.
With methyl bromide.
Yeah. That's also one of the concern from the China receivers, because we used to receive fruits from Kenya, which also need to go through fumigation before shipping. So, but the feedback from for the Kenya avocados are not doing quite well because of I think partly of the reason is that the products are also produced in different areas, so they cannot they cannot make sure that all the fruits are the same maturity. So that's the main concern. So in China, we heard that if you put the Kenya avocados into the ripening room, the fruits cannot be ripened, but go rotten.
Yeah.
Interesting that you mentioned that. We actually saw that. We heard about that the Kenyan industry is quite young still, and that their production practices, there is still some gaps there. And as you were saying, they were exporting fruit which was not at optimum maturity, so it never really ripened.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get to what you need it to be, to optimum ripeness. And I mean that's a problem. It's exactly what you were saying.
Yes, that's correct. Because as far as I know about the avocados, the fruits need to achieve some a certain of dry matter. Then you can get the fruits can be ripe fully. Yeah. Otherwise, the fruits
just
not
doesn't-
going to do that, and the eating quality are inferior compared with the matured one.
So there's a very good opportunity for South African growers. I think as soon as they can get those protocols sorted out
Yes.
that we've spoken about so many times with the fumigation, it will just go a lot smoother.
Yes.
Yeah. So now for the China market, I think the South African avocados need to first make sure the first arrival presence is doing quite well, so that the buyers in the wholesale market can gain the confidence in consistent consumption for the South African products.
Yes.
You know, China is it's probably the most important market for South African fruit as a whole.
As a
As a destination.
not currently. I think it could be as for the future.
Going forward,
Yeah.
it's a big market focus at the moment.
Yes.
So as a new and growing market, traditional market for South African fruit is largely Europe,
Yes.
and also the USA for the citrus. But China has been for the last 10, 15 years like the place that everybody wants to get to with their fruit. And awaiting access at the moment is stone fruit from South Africa, our nectarines and plums and that kind of thing. And I also know that the blueberries are awaiting access into China. Is there anything else that you can think of?
Well, those are the ones that we know of at the moment.
Those are the ones that because every fruit has its turn.
Yeah.
So that they
And
are
it takes
they are
a
next
long
in
time.
they are next in line. They are knocking on the door.
I remember when I was assisting in Zimbabwe last year with the China protocols
For the avos.
for the avos. They asked him about blueberries, and the GACC inspector said it kind of falls in the wrong window. So I'm thinking that South Africa might also not be in an optimal window when it comes to blueberries for China, but I don't know. It would still be
Will remain
good.
to be seen.
It would be good to have the market open, irrespective if they need it. So there might be, we never know what happens. There might be something that disrupts the supply, and then the market is there.
Yeah. So as you just mentioned, some items are still waiting in the line for protocol to China. So like also South African cherries.
Yes, cherries too.
Yeah, cherries too.
And that will compete with, look, we're not going to have nearly the volume that Chile has, but it will compete directly with Chile.
Yeah. So now the only issue is that Chile cherries are putting more greenhouse so that they can harvest earlier. So normally South African products the harvest time is earlier compared with Chile ones. But these days the Chile cherries change a lot.
Okay.
And another issue is that South African products are, the varieties are not, are quite old school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
So there's opportunity.
Yeah. So it's also not a good competitors compared with Chile ones, because they introduce more and more latest varieties in Chile for trial. So and the main market is in China. They receive lots of feedback about different varieties. So they definitely know which variety fits into the Chinese market well.
I want to change the topic a little bit. Dewald has not been to China before, and I've only been briefly. And there are some fruit there that you have access to that we don't know. And do you know what a durian is? You must ask him what it is and what it looks like and what it tastes like.
I know what it looks like, and I've heard a lot about it, but I've never seen one in person or experienced it.
So tell him a little bit about a durian fruit, because I would also like to know. I've heard about it, but I've never
Is a
tasted it.
durian fruit and a jackfruit the same thing?
I don't know.
No, it's a different thing. So, but it looks like almost the same on the outside.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I've...
Yeah, but it's a different thing. So for durian is one of the most popular fruits in the Chinese market.
And who supplies that?
The main origins for durian is Thailand, Vietnam, and Philippines now.
Okay.
So I heard that Laos also trying to plant more durians
Okay.
so that they can get access to the Chinese market, because the value of durian is also very high.
Oh, so
So
it's
they would-
expensive.
Yeah. So they would like to develop in the Chinese market so that they can get a good return for the from the China market.
So,
How big is a
okay,
durian?
but before we go there, I know that a durian stinks.
At a certain time if it's development.
Yeah.
Please explain to us a durian, because we
and,
don't know.
and why it is so valuable.
Yes, it stinks, but depending on the person who like it or not.
It's like
So
cheese.
if you, yeah. So if you like it, it's not stinks.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels very, very delicious.
Okay.
like sweet, delicious.
Yeah, it's pure sweet, and the bricks is very high because of high dry matters content. I mean,
Okay.
Okay.
So I heard, and I want to ask you, I'm not sure if it's true, when it starts to get old, it gets very stinky. No?
Yes, because it's also a the post ripened fruits.
Yes.
So normally they will harvest it at a certain of maturity. So during the transit, they control the air or the temperature
Okay.
well, so that they can stay immature. But when it arrives in the wholesale market, they will change the temperature or the ventilation
So
system.
that it can ripen.
Yeah, so
yeah.
that it can ripen.
And-
So normally, so as far as I know, because I used to work as a Chinese inspection quarantine officers at the Nansha port. So by the time when the Thailand vessel arrives at the port, we can smell the durian content.
So you smell it on the ship.
Yeah, it's the as I just said. If you like it,
Yes. It has a smell. Some people like it, some people
Have
don't
you
like
smelt
it.
it?
No, but I'm thinking like something.
Well, you're
like
going there now, you must go and-
I think I must go to the bubble tea shop, and then I must go and find a durian and smell.
sure.
And the other thing that I've always heard of, but I've never had the opportunity to eat, is a ya pear. Ya pear. The ya
pear. Okay, I think it's a domestic variety.
Yes.
It's quite juicy. It's unlike a westernized pear.
Completely different.
In like pecan, Avocados, or Selena or Farella. It's very juicy, and we usually take it so we both take it as a fresh consumption and also ingredient for some dessert.
Okay.
Especially when you get cough.
Oh,
So
it's good for your cough.
Yeah. It's we cooked it with sugar, cubic sugar, so that it can help smooth
throat.
Yes, throat. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are two things that we can look forward to trying. I've only ever seen, and the ya pear, they often have like their little cover. They sell them individually with like foam around it. So they look very beautiful in the shop, but I've never had the opportunity to try one.
Oh, you better taste it now. You've
Yes.
kind of set an
I
expectation here
certainly
now.
have.
And durian as well.
Yes. Yes.
But the most popular pear in the Chinese market is I think a fragrant pear.
What?
Fragrant.
Oh, fragrant pear.
fragrant.
Okay.
Yeah, and also produced in Xinjiang province, and
Okay.
also the Korea type of pear produced in the northern province. in China. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Well, now I've got some things to look out for, but it's the wrong season now. Pear season, it's not now.
Yes, I think so.
Is it?
Yeah, perhaps there will be still some stock fruits in
Oh, yes.
in different
Cold-
channels, but
yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
I'll
Okay.
see.
Yeah,
I will
you will
see.
see.
But is there anything else that you wanted to discuss?
No, I'm very happy.
It's very interesting.
It's very interesting.
And it's interesting to hear what the Chinese market is looking for from our country, because we have so much fruit to export, to send. So the more the market opens and the more people want our produce, the better. So, and thank you for coming to buy it, to take it there.
Yes, yes. We are also looking forward to receiving more blueberries from South Africa because, as you might know, that blueberry industry is booming. So everyone would like to consume more and more blueberries.
Okay.
I think for blueberries in South Africa, they also produce some good varieties. And as far as I heard from different exporters, they say due to the geographical environment, some of the varieties can outperform that from Peru, because Peru is the climate is quite simple, yeah. But here is different. You got a wide range of
This is true.
Yes.
yeah.
We have a wide range, and they're growing some down in the Western Cape, and they're even growing some up in
Namibia,
Namibia, Mpumalanga.
Zimbabwe.
So there's a wide range, and that means that they will be ripen at different times.
Yeah.
So that's great. You know what's another industry that is booming in South Africa, growing really fast because of their time window that they are producing, is kiwi fruit.
Oh, kiwi fruit.
Is there quite a demand for kiwi fruit in China?
Not really.
Not,
because
okay.
I don't know if you know, China is the origin
Yes,
production
yes.
for kiwi.
Yes.
But these days, the Chinese market is quite dominated by Zespri.
This spring.
Yeah.
From
So
New Zealand.
especially the golden kiwi.
Yes. Now, the golden kiwis are being produced in South Africa as well. And the advantage the South African production has is the time when they produce it.
When it's being harvested.
I think it's before New Zealand. So the industry is growing rapidly for exports to Europe. So I just wondered if there is an opportunity in China.
Yeah, but then to get market access.
I
again,
know, but they must stand in the line behind the others.
Yeah. So it's not going to be next year.
No.
So although the production window is early compared with Zespri, the only issue is that they can keep the fruits quite well in the cold storage. From New Zealand. They also have a production from Italy.
Yes.
So that helps extend the supply season. So will be almost a year-round supply for Zespri brand.
Wow, that's very cool.
Oh, that's what you want.
Yes, that's what everybody tries to manage.
Well,
It's very interesting. You
Yes.
want to wrap? You want to get a question?
yeah. Do we have a question here? Let's see.
What is your ideal day? It's a nice one.
Why do you love to work in the agricultural industry? Because you said that you've started as a quality inspector in the ports. What led you to still doing it?
For me, the first attractive thing is that you can travel abroad. Yeah, that's it. So I think another thing is that the agricultural products trading is different from years to years. So you will maybe have you need to learn more in the market to understand how the change will affect the market, and when you maybe made some good decisions, it will makes you proud.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the that's that's why I'm trying to be involved more in this business.
And as we know from experience, the Chinese market is they want the best quality
Of
of
course.
everything. So it is, if you get that right, you can be proud.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Well, Bake, thank you very much for joining us. This
Thank
has
you.
been incredibly interesting, and you came at short notice, and thank you for trusting us and coming to join us. It's been an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's also a good opportunity for me to join you. Maybe some of the listeners are the exporters. Maybe we can get contact after
Yep.
this podcast or interview. So we also thank you for this opportunity.
Thank
It's a pleasure.